Close your eyes. Think about what's the best presentation you have ever heard. What are the characteristics in that presentation? Open your eyes. In this hour, or next 45 minutes or so, you will own the power to make a point. Not just any random point, your message. And the same technique can be applied towards any kind of presentation. It could be public speaking. Public speaking is considered the #1 fear for people in the United States. They say in a funeral, people would rather be the one in the coffin than the one giving a eulogy. But if you have the message, if you believe in your work, if you believe in your value, the confidence always comes within. You have the power to make a point. This session is just to help you find it. Why are you here? So I'm gonna just ask you to raise your hand for the options. I want to be a better presenter. Most of you. I want to be a better negotiator. It comes handy when you're trying to negotiate for more funding, for applying for your research idea. Say, hey, this is the direction I want to go. I don't want to go the other directions. Negotiator. I want to get better at small talks. Some of you. I want to create a powerful elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is like a 30-second speech. Because you never know. You might end up with some CEOs in the elevators, and you only have 30 seconds. How do you make an impression and get your point across? And finally, I really have nothing better to do on Tuesday. Well, we have an honest person in there. Today, sorry, I don't really cover E. I cover the first 4 objectives. Take a moment. In the middle of these presentations, we're gonna ask a few volunteers to help you craft your message. So think about one message you want to deliver, you want to practice, you want to rehearse. And what would be a good characteristic of this message? It should be simple. Simple so it can be easily remembered and repeated. You want, when you present your paper, you want when you present your ideas, it's something people can get an idea of. People can roughly describe your idea to other people. Because sometimes when you try to make a pitch, you don't really get the chance to speak to the decision maker. You get to speak like their assistant, their friends, their colleagues, if they can help be the voice for you. The chance that you will get the funding, the chance that you will seal the deal is a lot higher. This should be also a message, not just about you, about the other person. When you have a research idea, when you have an awesome implementation, it's not about, oh, it's me. I have this marvelous algorithms like no one can compete with. I have this wonderful design, like nobody else can do it but me. Note that if you're selling ideas to the industry to get real cash there, it has to be able to be repeatable. It has to bring benefit to the other party too. Same thing applies to negotiating. If you're targeting for a you win, they lose situations, even if you succeed, it causes a lot of hurt feelings. Thinking about a small talk. A small talk is both party. A wonderful small talk is both party enjoy the conversation. So it's not just you talking about yourself. It's also about what the others want as well. First part, we will apply those principles into technical presentations. What do your slides do? Demonstrate your art talent. Good. The last time I gave a presentation, half of the room raised their hand. I was a little bit worried. Show your software has a lot of new features. Excellent. We're professionals here. Enhance and reinforce your message. That should exactly be what your slides is doing. The slides is a tool. You are the presentation. You make this presentation special. You make this presentation powerful. Slides, sometimes when you walk in the room and the slides doesn't work, don't panic. Because you are the presentation and you can accommodate to any situation. But of course, if your presentation sort of heavily depends on slides, always have a plan B. If you're gonna show a chart, ask for a flip chart. If you're gonna show a certain item, have them on display. Overwhelm your audience. I know this is not what we intend our slides to do, but it happens very often. We have so many good ideas, and usually you are only limited to give us paper presentation for like, what, 5 minutes, 3, even shorter? Sometimes even 15 is not enough. Because you spend at least the whole year, or maybe like 2 years, 3 years, how do you summarize 3 years of work in a 15 minutes presentation? From your perspective, like when I was a PhD student, I find it so hard. I spent so many time on this. I want to put everything into my slides. I want to show off all the steps. I do computer graphics, so I want to show off all kinds of wonderful animations. And what does that do? Of course, it satisfies my pride. I got everything there. I want them there, and they are there. But I'm not really thinking about my audience if I do that. Always review your slides from your audience point of view. And sometimes keep in mind that your audience is probably not with technical backgrounds. How would you adopt the ideas? Which one is a better slide? A straight line from A to B? Or just going all over the place? A straight line is better. Your message, remember, your message, it's important. It should be simple, easy to remember, and can be easily repeated. You show a presentation in this style, people will remember. You show a method leading from A to B. If you show the first slides, people probably get lost in there and fall asleep in the middle. They probably even forget where they begin and probably not remember where it ends either. Of course, you can always tell them, oh, you can find my paper online. But remember, these days, over 3,000 papers are published each day. That people remember you. That people remember your message. Make it simple, make it repeatable. Now if you're thinking, oh, we're gonna go over do's and don'ts. The truth is, today, I want you to remember a simple message, not 100 like mechanisms. If you just search for do's and don'ts or search by desk by PowerPoint, you will easily get over 7 million results in just 0.44 seconds. You can always get those information online. Like how to do your colors, how to do your layouts, how to measure your fonts, how many lines should be in your PowerPoint. those principles, you can easily find them, and you can easily compare your slides against them. So today, what I want you to focus is to find the inner voice inside you, is to find the method to deliver your message in a powerful way. You're at a presentation. Think about a good presenter. When I think about a good presenter, they target on their audience. It's tailored your speech content to your audience. The length, the content, the difficult level. When you're doing a pitch to fundraising, to raise funds for your research, to find investor, you know what they do in standard industry fundraising game? 2 minutes. The investor only have the attention span for 2 minutes. So if you are pitching to those investors, condense your ideas into 2 minutes and make sure within these 2 minutes, it still need to have a beginning, it still need to have an ending, it should have good transitions in between. Even though it's short, it's a speech. It's a speech tailored to your audience. Eye contact. As a presenter, sometimes due to the setup, you kind of like look at your slides. But when you look at your slides, you lost the audience. Now I have a clear view of even the back of the room to make sure they won't fall asleep on me. If they fall asleep on me, I do have a ball here to throw. Gestures. Gestures helps deliver a message. Think about it. If I do this, we should all keep an open mind about this research results. This is probably a little bit aggressive, but we should keep an open mind about it. Do you feel a little bit disconnect here? Let me try this again. We should keep an open mind about this method. It's aggressive, but it will open a lot of opportunities, possibilities. Adopting these ideas, it will bring tremendous benefits. You might be wondering, why people why this causes a difference? When you fold your arm in front of you, in psychology analysis, it's a defensive position. So even though you're talking about open mind, people feel you're not really open. And this happened to a lot of us. When I started doing presentations, when I started just from the engineering point of view, I do this, or put my hands in my pocket. Why? I was nervous. It is human nature that we try to hold on to something. We try to hide ourselves behind something. We try to use as many protection to protect ourselves, especially when we're presenting an idea we think that might be rejected. Today, I was thinking about giving a presentation in front of the podium, but according to your video recording, I need to stay behind the podium, so it's not I'm afraid. I'm pretty brave here. You should tailor to your venue. Sometimes the venue doesn't allow you to explore the entire stage. So today, before I come here, I was thinking about we can kind of like do a round table, we can do a whole stage performance, but once again, adapt to your venue. The microphone is here and the idea is here. Well, then we go from here. Use of humor. When the presentation is long, sometimes your audience starts to wander around. But laughter produces a lot of good hormones in your body, And fuel kind of like an energy drink in that sense, when you can make people laugh. I have to be honest, I'm still working on the humor part. For now, my humor only engineers understand. Make it interesting. When I say make it interesting to your parents or pets, because that's where I started. When I don't really dare to practice my presentation in front of my colleagues or my professor before I feel I'm really ready. So I practice in front of my parents. My parents are always doing something else at the same time. My pets, on the other hand, I have a very nice dog. Whenever I give her attention, she gives me attention too. But cross that point. The idea is to make it interesting. Make your audience engaged. And when we go to interpersonal communication, you are one person there, and you are not going to talk to another person which is exactly yourself. But no matter how different two people are, they always have something in common. Remember, when you make the conversation, it's not just about you, it's about the other party as well. Find that common point. Let's do activity. Try to get to know 3 people you don't know before in 5 minutes. Okay, we can start now. It's okay. It's fine. 1 minute. Hi. Nice to meet you. So what do you do?
So I just graduated.
Oh.
So I was here taking all the classes and everything. And found my first job.
That's great.
I really like myself.
Yeah, I think it's a great conference. Very well planned. Very well planned. Yeah. I work here. I work in Spectrum Technologies. Yes. Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing. I mean, usually it's not like this. Oh, okay. This is better. Good. Nice to meet you. Hands up. You know, this is what happened. People were really quiet, and when you get them to speak, they won't stop. So the people are still standing. We're gonna call on you as volunteers then. I'm gonna ask for the first volunteer to introduce to us the 3 people he or she just met. Who'd like to go first? Tell us your name, where you're from, and the 3 people.
Hi everyone, my name is AIAA. I'm actually originally from Nigeria, but I go to the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. I met Joe Shiley, I met Brandon, I don't remember the last name, I met Andy, and Michael. So 4 people actually.
So what do you know about them?
Well, he's from Washington. Michael is from Washington. He goes to Purdue University. Joe works in wind tunnels in Tennessee. Brandon just graduated from the University of Michigan. And Andy is from a university in the Los Angeles area.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. Can I have another volunteer? Wow, the girl wearing purple.
I wore the wrong shirt today.
Yeah, you kind of stand out in the room. Give it a try.
I can't match him. He did way too good. Well, I met Jonathan from Massachusetts, Boston, right? Baltimore. Okay, sorry. I did really terrible. from the Aerospace Corporation. And then I met Charlie. That's so that's, I didn't do very well. I ended up talking to Julie more than anybody else.
Don't worry. Good job. Let's give a round of applause. Would there won't be a third volunteer? The last one? Last call? Yes, sir.
I'm Matthew Deutsch, and I'm from Dayton, Ohio, currently. And I only met 2 people. I forgot I was supposed to meet a third one. But the 2 people I met were very interesting, so it made up for it. I met Noel, who is originally from Korea, but is studying in Washington. He's been living here since high school. And I also met Noel, who is from, Alessandro, who is from Milan, Italy. And he is part of a team of people who designed an aircraft, won a competition, and presented their work here. Both of them presented yesterday and are very happy to be done, I'm sure. That's about all as far as we got.
So we have 3 brave volunteers to introduce us to the people they met. Now it's time for a quiz. Who remember who they meet? Okay. Who do you remember among the? So he met 4 people and 2 there. Among the 9 people, who do you remember? Yes. Who do you remember from their introduction?
I remember some of the details. I don't remember all.
Okay. Yeah. Details. What details do you remember?
So our first individual who introduced people, he was from Nigeria. That's from the Aerospace Corporation. 2 presenters from yesterday, Noel.
Thank you. Remember, in the very beginning, I say a good message, a good communicator message is a message simple, that can be remembered, and can be repeated. So notice the difference. When he mentioned he's from Nigeria and people from other cities, Nigeria stands out because it's not a city we commonly hear. So it makes him unique. It makes that message unique. And while most of us are still probably just graduate or like we're still associated with schools, the aerospace company stands out. She's a company representative. That information stands out. And of course, the person winning the awards and having a paper presented, those information stands out too. So think about when you plan your small talk, when you plan your elevator pitch, what message will stand out? So the person will remember, and when the person repeats to the other person, they still remember. This gentleman, he walks to me. I guess like he ran out of people to meet. He come to me and he said that he just graduated and he's looking for a job. That's the information I will remember. Like if we have more time to talk, and if I find out, okay, this is a talented gentleman, and if I know anyone who is looking to hire someone, I will be thinking of him because he tell me that information. He tell me he's just graduated, he's looking forward, probably the nice weather in San Diego. Well, today doesn't count. I will remember. It's a simple message that can be repeated and remember. Have any of you bring your name cards? We have 1, 2, 3. Let me share a quick tip with you. So when you give out a name cards, and need to know that at the end of the day, a conference like that, people probably gonna get like over 100 name cards. There are several little things that can make your name card stand out. So I bring 2 samples today. So this one, it's actually green on the side. So compared to the other paper, and the printing cost is actually exactly the same as like other name cards. So I will leave some name cards here. If you want it, you can come pick it up. And the other one always get me a wow is because the shape. It's a weird shaped, or it's a leaf shaped name cards, and it's plastic. So in a conference like this, sometimes the drinks spilled over, yeah, or especially, I don't know about this conference, but the several conferences we go to involves beers, wines, and it's easier to hand out the plastic name cards in that situation. So think about it. Put some thoughts into your name card. Oh, so what is your name card about?
It has my name across the top in the graphic. It's got my picture so that you might remember my face if you don't remember my name. And on the back, it's got my blogs and my YouTube channel and things like that.
Wonderful. Putting picture on the name cards is one of the common practice these days. Yeah, I have pictures on my name cards too. And there are several things, like you can put a QR code so people don't need to type the website address. So think about it. And another thing you can do is, based on your conversation, put down some information. Write down some information unique on your name card before you hand out. Make your name cards unique. Make every encounter between you and another person unique. Make it rememberable, make it repeatable. So we'll do more exercise and keep the principle in mind. This is a generic personality graph chart. There are 4 personalities, and I mean, you can go to other studies that will give you 16, they will give you more, 64 or more. But this is a simple one. So it categorizes people in 4 categories. And you don't necessarily go to like one of the dimensions. You probably kind of like somewhere standing between. Okay, so I will go have my own confession first. I like numbers. I don't know why, but when I was born, I like numbers. Maybe because when I was a kid, numbers are associated with money, so I like numbers. I grew up as an analytical person. So what does that mean? As analytical persons, I focus on the results. Whenever I start a conversation, I want to know what's the end game. Why I'm having this conversation. Why I'm spending even just 5 minutes on this person. Why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing that. But before that, as an analytical person, there's a long processing time for me to kind of list the pros and cons. So I will list a table, compare my 5 plans I have, and decide, okay, based on this one, which is my plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. That's an analytical person. We take more time to process information. So when you talk to me, if it doesn't seem like I interact with you immediately, if I think a little bit cold, it's probably because I'm still processing your information. There are 2 types of people on this graph. Like they need more time to warm up to you. So one is analytical, the other is amiable. The difference between analytical and amiable is analytical is more drawn to statistics and data. The amiable is more drawn to people and relationship. There is a study. Most of engineers, 97% of engineers, actually falls into analytical. So we are a room of analytical people here. That's why when we talk to each other, we identify information. Where are they from? What they do? And the awards and the competitions where they are. I presented the same presentation in another conference. They are HR conference. On the other hand, around 70% of the HR person are amiable. And about another 30% are expressive. So they are all towards the people relationship side. The difference between amiable and expressive is amiable need more time to process the information, while expressive is quickly worn up. Usually if you see a marketing person walking into the room, usually they are expressive. They quickly warm up to you, they talk to you about all kinds of things. When I was in an HR conference and doing the same exercise, the information I got would be, this is Mary, she had 3 cats and $2. It would be about personal informations, personal stories. So think about it. Most of the time, we interact with analytical because we interact with our colleagues. And most decision makers are drivers. So drivers focus on task, results, and they want information in a short period of time. So remember, like a CEO or any investor, they want you be able to pitch your result to them in 2 minutes because they are the driver. And how do you quickly profile who's who in the room and decide what you want to do? One way to do this is, sometimes it is what it is. An elevator pitch, just 30 seconds. So you need to have your own 30-second speech for the purpose you want to get. And sometimes you just need a longer time to build a relationship if you are working with analytical or amiable. And as time goes by, due to the profession we choose, we all kind of like shift around a little bit. I'm a computer scientist right now, and I need to make a lot of decisions right at the point. So what we do is we manufacture the chip inside a cell phone. And our customers will be like Samsung or Apple. They will have like crazy specs. And I need to be able to give them a yes or no right at the spot. So that forces me to expand myself out from my comfort zone, from analytical to driver. I need to be able to do things in a short period of time and make decisions. And how do I accommodate that? Remember, today, we are trying to find our inner strengths, our inner voice. I'm not asking you to become someone else who you are not. But no matter which personality you are, there is a very mechanical way, very systematic way you can practice, and you can match the other personality. So how do I become a driver? Instead of just going to the meetings as is, I think of all kinds of possibilities the night before. So I shorten the process, and therefore in my mind I have multiple options. I have my priorities straight already. In this room, is there anyone think you are actually more towards amiable or expressive? Then I'm gonna ask you to give 30 seconds self-introduction. You're expressive, or you're amiable?
Amiable.
You feel amiable. Okay, let me clarify. Yeah, don't put amiable on the spot like that. Anyone feels they are more expressive? But remember, we all need to be expressive sometimes. When you walk into the room, you want to make an impression. When you are doing a job interview, you want to impress your interviewer. Most people, especially when you are doing interviews, the interviewer decide whether they like you or not, probably from the first 30 seconds. Going there, yes?
Interesting you brought that up. As you were asking who is one of these, my colleague next to you knows very well said, aren't you going to say something? I said, no, that's not who I am, but I've learned to wear that cloak when I need to. And so it's sort of make your point for it, help make your point. Sometimes we have to wear the cloak of one of those others, depending on the audience who we want to talk to. Although who I am is way up there in that analytical corner. I can be expressive. That's what the situation calls for.
Would you like to share with how do you get your coat? How do you practice to put a coat down?
Sort of, I think it's like actors may do sometimes. You understand that what is the audience going to, what do they need? I was a Cub master for Cub Scouts one time. So for 10-year-olds, you have to be very expressive. Use a big voice and find your inner 10-year-old. Sometimes for generals, you need to do that as well. And so it's a matter of figuring out what is needed and matching that load. The engineers want to match the load to what our audience needs. And sometimes you need to be relational, sometimes you need, here are the facts, here's what we think you need to do. If you want more data, ask me and I'll provide it. But kind of hand them the answers for that. So it is sort of what you said, figuring out what the other side needs, trying to provide that form that they can easily accept.
Thank you for sharing. There are some baby steps you can take. When try to profile people, if they often use the sentence, I think, they are more towards analytical or driver side. If they say, I feel, they are more towards amiable and expressive side. If they take action, say, let's do it, they're more likely to be driver or expressive. If they seems to be a little bit quiet in the beginning, they're probably analytical and amiable in that side. So with these 4 clues, and you can kind of like cross which dimension the person you are talking to belong to. Several tips. To start an open small talk, remember you want the other person to enjoy this conversation as well. So use open-ended questions. If I ask him, hey, do you like the paper yesterday? He would just give me yes or no. Conversation is over. But if I ask him, which paper do you like the most yesterday? He need to give me an answer, and he probably will gotta explain why, and I get time to have more information to know what he's like. If he say, I feel the author is so-and-so, then I know he's more towards this side. If he kind of like pause for a second to think for it, then I got 2 clues to know he belonged to the amiable. Employer win-win negotiating, yeah, always keep that in mind. We sometimes forget about it because it's human nature. We want to get something. And the reason we're here in this room because we want to get something. We want to become better. We want to become a better presenter, better negotiator, better at small talk. And even though you have nothing to do on a Tuesday morning, you want to be better. Respond non-defensively to criticism. How many people find this hard? It's really challenging. But it is because this is really challenging. If you can do it, it makes you stand out. Remember that here when we talk about evaluation skills, we always say, hey, you should use a sandwich method. You should always say something good, then give a constructive feedback, and then wrap up with something good. But what if you only have 30 seconds to talk about it? Do you want this feedback from the others to be watered down to just like 1/3 of it, or you want to hear all the good points from this person? The more open you are to criticism, the better communicator you will be. To summarize the quality of a good speaker, you focus on your audience, you possess good listening skills so you can get to know your audience, you create value for your audience through your talk, you radiate credibility, and finally, remember, don't be defensive. Maintain a good attitude. And finally, we are at the end of the session here. Remember in the very beginning, we have one message that I asked you to think of one message you would like to share. I know this is a room full of analytical, so I give that question in the very beginning. Now, can I have one volunteer, because of the time, one volunteer. What is the message you want to share? And let's work on how to make the message more powerful.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Reichel. I just recently graduated from my master's degree from Missouri University of Science and Technology, and I've begun going out job hunting. So if any of you have any offers available, I would be glad to hear them. Okay.
So what do we hear? What's his name? Sean. What he's looking for? What kind of job you can offer him?
No idea what he does.
So number one thing, when you are crafting your message, give them some more concrete they can relay on and they can start to think of. Try again.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, or just add on.
Okay, to correct myself. Does this thing work? Oh, gotta get closer. Okay. Hey. To correct myself, I graduated with a master's in aerospace engineering. I would like to focus on working on propulsion systems, either turbine or plasma makes little difference to me. I have studied both in my coursework and would love to work on either of them.
Thank you. Is the message more clear? So now, if you can think of like anyone, any companies working on, like he's actually good at both of them, like it doesn't make a difference for him, then you can introduce him to the person. So that's the way you do your message. Make it simple, make it memorable, and have a clear content for people to repeat it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is my contact information. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to contact me, and I will return the podium to our host. Oh, do you have any questions? Yeah, that's what happens when you are handling an analytical. They will only ask questions through emails. Okay, we have one question.
Given that most engineers are very analytical, as you say, the normal thing of asking open-ended questions may make a lot of people feel uncomfortable because they kind of feel like you're someone that knows coming up and asking all these questions. They'd rather just kind of keep themselves.
Yes.
Is it better when you deal with engineers to maybe start out giving more about yourself first and then kind of bringing them into it?
Yeah, I agree. It's a wonderful technique when you are working with engineers. I'm an engineer by myself, so I'm used to that. And that's why in a presentation to engineers, it's always very, very critical to have this page, the contact information page, and to give them a method to contact you afterwards. And one method we tried before is to actually paste on little note cards. So, and closing to the end, we get the note cards back, so I can see the questions on there, because analytical, we feel more comfortable writing things down than speaking it up. So that's several ways we can do. If you want you want immediate reactions, passing note cards is the way to go. Yeah, because you can get them back, and they feel safe as well because it's anonymous. Yeah, but email usually is the most effective one. I usually got a lot of emails afterwards. I promise I will reply. So, yes.
Thanks a lot for your presentation. I just want to add a vote of support for Toastmasters because I started that early in my career, and the weekly meetings is fantastic practice. It takes practice and feedback, and you get that awesome, friendly, supporting environment. Toastmasters that made a huge difference in my career. So I definitely encourage everyone here to find your local chapter, use that to great advantage for yourself.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. If you want more information about Toastmasters, you can ask me as well.
And Toastmasters was very important in how we even found May to come and talk to us today. We had been reaching out to the AIAA sections in the area and in the region, and were unable to find someone who was available to speak on the subject. So we started contacting the Toastmaster sections. Not sure what you call your groups locally, but we were able to meet May through Toastmasters. So thank you for bringing that up. Did you want to talk about Toastmasters for a couple of minutes?
Oh, sure.
How it works?
So Toastmasters and organizations, we are 92 years old. And the way it works is we have the single unity code clubs. So you are able to pretty much, we have over 3 million people, members, across globally right now. So that's why it's Toastmaster International. And I'm pretty sure in United States, no matter which town you are from, there should be a Toastmaster club near you. And if you want more information, so you can go to toastmasters.org to find a club. The way I see this is like that. So you can come to as many workshops, you can go to as many trainings as possible, but it's like swimming. You can hire the Olympic champions to train you, but eventually if you want to master swimming, you need to swim in a swimming pool every day. And that's what Toastmasters do. I joined Toastmasters in 1999, so this is my 16th years in Toastmasters. I'm currently, as Karen introduced, so the Toastmaster is a volunteer organization, so I don't get paid from Toastmasters. So the job I have that actually makes money is the computer scientist part. But I volunteer at the Toastmaster organization, and my current position is District 5 Director. So I lead, we have 3,000 members in San Diego area, and the district is a geographic area. So we cover San Diego County, Imperial County, and Yuma, Arizona. So that's where I stand in this organization. If you have more questions, and I know you do, yeah, email me. And I have name cards, leave it here as well. It's actually a 4-people name card. So I'm the district director, and I have my right hand and left hand, which is a program quality director, club growth directors, and public relation manager. If you're a company, so for now, 1/3 of Fortune 500 companies, they actually sponsor their in-house club because they see the value of the program. They can make their employee become better communicators and leaders. So if you feel like, hey, my company could use Toastmaster too, yeah, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be able to guide you through the steps. Any other questions? Comments? Yes?
Just an addendum to my earlier talk. How many of you noticed the word focus being used in this presentation? Sean? That means it was a word that had no meaning to it. It was just two. It's an example of one word that has started to become a buzzword. We use it because it means 3 or 4 different meanings. We just like boom, bye. Just an example. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Good job.